the thrash legends, Metallica. Let's get into their studio albums. Let's do the top three songs from each one of their studio releases. So starting out with Kill Them All. Kill Them All, released in 1983. So my older brother's actually the one that got me into Metallica. He ended up coming home with this one, Ride the Lightning and Justice for All. And then when I started hearing Metallica, it was during the And Justice for All record. One was in the top 10 countdown on MTV. And so started hearing more and more, kind of went backwards, Master of Puppets and all that good stuff. So their first 4 or 5 albums, yeah, I mean, the Metallica set a really high bar for themselves, and so you'll see it in my reviews of their later albums. But yeah, I mean, real good stuff. So this band originally had Dave Mustaine in it. You'll see him on a lot of the song credits, and then you'll see some similar songs over there in the first Megadeth record. But on this album, you have James Hetfield, rhythm guitar, vocals, Cliff Burton, just a wizard on the bass, Lars Ulrich on drums, and then Kurt Hammett came over from Exodus, lead guitar. So yeah, a lot of good songs to choose from. First and foremost, Seek and Destroy. I was super into that song the first time I heard it, that guitar riff. And then when you listen to it live, I just like to seek, certain. Seek and Destroy with the audience singing back at Metallica. So it's a really cool concert song. I know Metal Militia is really popular, but I'm going to have to go for Horseman as another one of my top 3 songs on this record. I like the, lore with the 4 horsemen. So I think that's really cool. And then Whiplash, another cool thrash song. But yeah, this is a classic. James sounds very different here. His voice hasn't matured just yet. But yeah, Metallica was doing something special in these first few albums. Their second record, Ride the Lightning, and look how cool that is. That cover of that album, that's awesome. One of my favorite Metallica songs is on here, and it's going to be one of the top 3 as well. Is Fade to Black, more of a mellow song. So I have it in the vein of And Justice for All, One. Always good musicianship. These guys are just stellar. I think Cliff Burton brought a special energy to this group, and they just were so unique when this came out. So Fade to Black is a concert staple, usually in their set list. And then For Whom the Bell Tolls, the opening that I'm assuming Cliff Burton wrote it, opens on the bass. He's got that special effects going on there. That's a super cool song. And then the other song that is one of my favorite Metallica songs, it has grown on me over time. And I think partly because of the live versions, just seeing the energy that they play with the audience, is Creeping Death. Super, super cool song. Another song on here that I think is underrated is Escape. I heard Metallica doesn't necessarily like this song. I need to research that more to see if that happens to be true. But Hatebreed covered it years ago on one of their releases, and I think they do a really good job with that. But top 3 songs on Ride the Lightning, we're going Creeping Death, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and Fade to Black. This is a must-own album. Go get Ride the Lightning if you don't have it. I think I've bought it 3 or 4 times at this point, from cassette to CD to digital. And I got the remastered one, or the expanded one where it has some live tracks on it. So now let's go to arguably the best Metallica record, especially for the hardcore fans in the beginning. We're still very thrashy, very heavy. And, this album had their resurgence with Stranger Things. The last season of Stranger Things, like a guitar solo, playing a Master of Puppets when they're battling the demons or demigords or whatever they're called in here. But yeah, I mean, Battery to Master of Puppets to The Thing That Should Not Be, which again, you have this bass music coming in there that is special and unique with the effects that Cliff uses. That's cool. Welcome Home Sanitarium. That's a song that I liked from the get-go back in the day. But I'm going to go maybe a little outside the box. No vocals on this one. I'm going to take Orion. That's probably the best instrumental song that I've ever heard. A song that I have played over and over throughout the years. Orion is fantastic. And then I'm going to go Master of Puppets, one of their best all-time classics. And Battery is going to be the other song that I choose. But again, this is prime Metallica. Just The magic is what they were doing on this record. And again, if you these first three albums, go buy them. They're top notch. Let's do one more. We'll do one more Metallica record. And here they have that tragic bus crash. I think that's what happened, and Cliff dies. And so band's in turmoil. They bring in Jason Newsted, I from Flotsam and Jetsam. I think that's who he was with. Another like thrashy type group. So Jason Newsted comes in, they're still grieving Cliff, and then Injustice for All comes out. The bass tracks are pretty much non-existent in this record, but with that to produce something so spectacular, this album's wonderful too. A lot of great songs here. Like I said, in the top 10 countdown one MTV countdown, it was battling that number one spot for a long time. Great video, great song. It builds. The drum works really good on there. It's moody. And then the movie that is playing behind it, yeah, it's just one of those songs that just kind of grips you. Like, hey, what's going on here? That song's fantastic. Going to be one of my favorite Metallica songs for sure. And then I'm going to go with "And Justice for All." I just like the guitar work. I mean, they have this classic guitar build up. It's kind of acousticy, different vibe to it, and then the song just builds. And so with Metallica, when they're locked in, it's almost like you're on this roller coaster riding these songs. And the songs are really long on "Injustice for All," but I really liked what they were doing here. And then the other song that I'll pick, the songs were so long. They only, 9 songs here, but the album's 1 hour and 5 minutes, is Blackened. I like how it opens. It's energetic. Blackened in the end. Really, really good song. So we're going to go one and just Unjustice for All and Blackened. Real great Metallica stuff. So yeah, these 4 records are probably the 4 that I listen to the most throughout, still to this day. But we'll get into a couple others in part 2 of this video that throughout the years I've listened to a lot, but these are the ones that have stayed consistent for me. Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. All right, Metallica fans, you all take care.